For business news, videos and insights, check out the O2 Business blog by clicking the link on screen or in the description below. Hey guys, you're watching BTech. I'm Basil. This is the Huawei MediaPad M2 10.0 Premium Edition. I'm reviewing the Premium Edition. It's available in a whole load of variants. This is the best. This is very good. I'm going to tell you why. Before I do, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, sub. It's how you'll stay on top of everything we do. Right, 350 odd pounds if you're here in the UK gets you a 10-inch tablet that's pretty skinny, metal frame, so feels premium, Harman Kardon speakers, and an origami case, as well as an active stylus packing pen input with over 2,000 levels of pressure sensitivity. Yeah, it's a lot of bang for your buck and definitely makes you question picking up that iPad Pro. But after a couple of weeks of using it, maybe more than a couple of weeks even, do I still feel like that? Well, I obviously do to some degree, if you can't tell by my enthusiasm for this product. Design-wise, it hits the mark in a few ways. Head on, it looks like a generic Android tablet, but you've got a fingerprint scanner under the screen. You haven't got crazy heavy bezeling. The metal frame feels expensive and you've got flat sides as well, so it's nice and easy to hold. 500 grams, it isn't light, but it's just over 7 millimeters thin. So it's a premium, not light, because it's metal and feels expensive. The screen itself is 10.1 inches, so it's a standard sized tablet. The screen looks very good as well. Full HD resolution means it isn't the sharpest out there, around 240 pixels per inch, but it's still good. I was unable to spot a pixel unless I looked very, very closely at this thing, which occasionally I did do given the nature of drawing and writing, scribing in general on a tablet. The screen's an IPS Full HD panel, and it's also, like I said, pressure sensitive, which leads me on to the pen input. This ships with an active stylus if you get the premium pack. The active stylus, 2048 levels of pressure sensitivity, integrates with the user interface in a very nice way. You can quick shortcut to some of Huawei's pen applications, which include a calculator, and there's also Wacom Bamboo Paper pre-installed. It also plays nice with Sketchbook Pro as well. You can holster the pen in the origami case, as you can see, and this feels like a little bit of an afterthought because it's a sticker that is attached onto the case, but ultimately I'm impressed with Huawei. They give you a lot of stuff considering this is a sub £400 tablet combination. So if you want a complete solution out of the box, design wise, screen wise, pen input wise, it gets a massive thumbs up from me. As far as user interface goes, that's where everything starts to dip down a little bit. It's Android 5 under the hood, so you haven't got the newest version of Android, and as a result, you don't have the newest version of Huawei's Emotion UI. It doesn't take advantage of some of the new improvements, like for example an hidden applications tray, and it also doesn't take advantage of some of the fixes that we've come to expect from Huawei after the P9 range launch. Specifically, the notification bar, if you get Gmail notifications, they can read as invisible. Yep. You heard me right, invisible. So that's a pretty major shortcoming from Huawei's interface on that one. Still, the majority of applications I threw at this thing ran with no problem whatsoever. Performance isn't mind-blowing, I'll come on to that a little bit later, but it seemed to be adequate for the whole user interface to perform well. Paired with that app, pen support, handwriting recognition, I was very happy using this as my primary scribing tool, let alone my primary tablet. The fingerprint scanner will take you home, but there are also a few gestures it supports as well. You can swipe back to go back, and you can swipe forward to access your multitasking pane. A long press of it will take you home. Simple, but at the same time, stuff you wouldn't tend to get on other tablets out there. Multimedia wise, it's also one of the best 10 inches around. It is the best 10-incher around for the price. You've got 4 Harman Kardon speakers and they sound immense. Really does warrant a speaker comparison with the iPad Pro. Yeah, I think I'll be doing that next week or the week after, so watch this space. What you get therefore is a really immersive sound paired with a good screen. The IPS screen could be a little bit brighter, but if you're indoors especially, you really don't need to hook this thing up to an external speaker or plug in headphones. headphones. It just looks and sounds great off the bat. As far as gaming goes, that's where things start to slow down a little bit, just like with the user interface. The Antutu benchmarks around 55,000 or thereabouts. The Kirin 930 processor under the hood is not the latest out there, so even with that 3 gigabytes of RAM, it isn't going to be the best gamer that there is. But it has got 64 gig onboard memory, and it will play pretty much every game, even if it does drop a frame here or there. So that in itself should appease 99% of casual to even more serious gamers around. What's also awesome about gaming is hooking it up with a case and a controller means that you can game untethered, and it really does, with that 10-inch screen, feel like something of a console type replacement. This being a tablet, the camera was never going to steal the show, and that 13 megapixel rear camera doesn't, but it still performs well, especially in good light. Drop the lights, everything crumbles, unsurprisingly. It can also record up to full HD video, which suffers the same fate when the lights go down. But again, in good lighting, it's actually really good. If you can steady it with the origami case and it'll act like a tripod of sorts, you're going to get a good picture out of this thing. 5 megapixel selfie camera, good for up to 720p video. Video conferencing, thumbs up. General high quality pictures though, yeah, you already know the answer. It's not going to be mind-blowing. Remaining multimedia, like I was just saying, is brilliant. App support on here, awesome stuff. So with that 64 gig of internal memory paired with SD expandability, it's got all the storage you're going to want. It's also got all the connections you'll really need from a Wi-Fi tablet. Wi-Fi, and on top of that you've got a 6,660 milliamp battery, all the sixes. That'll last a full day pretty comfortably if you are power using the life out of this thing, and if it's sitting in your bag it'll sip away at the energy and last for days on end in standby. So ultimately a pen with 2048 levels of pressure sensitivity, a good tablet, not the best tablet, but a good tablet for £350, paired with a really comprehensive suite of accessories out of the box. Yeah, you can see why I'm pretty much loving the Huawei MediaPad M2, in spite of the fact I'm very upfront with its flaws, which there are a few of, specifically around Emotion UI. But ultimately, great value for money, and one of the only Android tablets on the market right now I can wholeheartedly recommend. What do you think about the Huawei MediaPad M2 10.0? Let us know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click that thumbs up button, and if you like the channel, subscribe. It's how you'll stay on top of everything that we do. Thanks for watching BTech. For business news, videos and insights, check out the O2 Business blog by clicking the link on screen or in the description below.